I'm Shelby, and I'm here with Shannon today, and I'm going to be talking to her about her and her career. So, starting off, I know that color guard has been a part of your life for a long time. Where did this all start?
Okay, so I started in high school. I wasn't supposed to go to the high school that I was going to, so I had to pick my classes on the first day. And I picked a band class, and I've never done anything music related before, so I was like, I'll keep it, but maybe I'll change it later. And I ended up like really liking it, and I did the percussion, and then a color guard member dropped her rifle on top of the instrument that I played, and I turned around and was like, well, that looks like fun too. I think I should do that. So that's pretty much where it started.
Yeah, that's so cool. Knowing that you did color guard in high school, what was that like? Was it different compared to students in guard today?
It's pretty the same. Like the time commitment is the same, but I think like maybe just like the overall look of it was like a little different. Like I think now after COVID, you know, it's a little on like the extracurricular spectrum, but it was definitely like my whole life when I did it before. So I think now it's like taken a little less seriously, which is probably good because it felt like a job when I was in high school, and now it is my job. But as a student, I was like, well, maybe I should have probably acted like a kid for a little longer.
Yeah. After high school, you did drum corps and independent world groups. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah. After I graduated, I had like a list of like places that I wanted to go and different groups that I wanted to be a part of. So I think like all of my drum corps stuff was building blocks for me to like be able to like do my winter stuff. So it was fun. It kind of shaped me into who I am, and I think I kind of figured out like who I was during the drum corps thing, since it's super independent, and I got to like come out of my shell a little bit more and stuff, and that only made it easier going into the winter to like be able to be myself and feel like prepared for auditions and things like that. And so I checked all my boxes.
Yeah. So you did that for a long time, and it was a long process for sure. Do you have any advice for someone that wants to audition for drum corps or an independent group?
I'd say, you know, I always wanted to go to places where I like learn new things. Like I didn't want to like stay stuck in like the same people and like the same, you know, like techniques and things like that. So, you know, the sky is the limit, and maybe a change is like uncomfortable, or like trying new things is uncomfortable, but I'm really thankful for all of like the different experiences that I had in different groups and stuff. So I just say like, you know, know what you want and practice and work hard, and everything else just kind of like falls into place.
Yeah. So as far as being a coach goes, when did you start coaching color guard?
I started coaching right after high school. Like right when I graduated, I went back to the same high school that I graduated from, and I did like their movement program, like their little 8-class group, this little smaller group. I taught a middle school fresh out of it with one of my high school friends, so I pretty much never had like a gap year, you know, and they had us teach when we were students too, so I think like the mend between the two was pretty quick. Like it was pretty natural. It was a little weird because we're all like, I was their captain before, and now here they are trying to listen to me again, and I'm like, maybe they should hear it from somebody else. But I started coaching right after I graduated.
So you've really been doing color guard
Forever.
It hasn't stopped.
Forever.
So being a coach for multiple schools, I'm sure can be a lot to handle at times. What are some of your day-to-day responsibilities with that?
Driving.
Yeah.
And driving. I spend at least like 50% of my day in my car, which is fine because I like driving. Just like the time management of it all. I mean, I write it down in my planner and my calendar so I don't drive to the wrong school or something like that. You know, it just gets a lot to remember, or like the different time slots and stuff like that. I don't really have a lot of me time, but you know, that's how I keep it. That's how I like it. So
Yes. So I'm sure there are many fun parts to your job. What are some of your favorite parts of being a guard coach?
I like when like somebody can't get something for a while and then they get it for the first time and they're like, nice, or you say something that like nobody's heard before, but you guys could have figured it out on your own, and you're like, wow, I've never thought about it like that. I'm like, y'all silly.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Seeing the little light bulbs go off, and like going to performances, or like coming off the floor, and like sighs of relief, and things like that. You know, it's always worth it.
Or not size of
Or
relief.
not, or the crying.
Yeah.
Hyperventilating.
Yes. I know that it can be difficult at times too.
Yeah.
What are some challenges you have to face?
Also driving. I mean, really just making sure that I'm prepared when I go from school to school, like trying to remember like what we're doing at one place and now here I am at the next, and not feeling like I'm still taking steps behind or catching up or whatever, trying to, you know, walk into one place and being like, okay, I'm ready now. Like it's remembering names. It's a lot to juggle sometimes, but it's goods and it's bads.
Yeah. If you weren't doing color guard as a career, what do you think you would be doing instead?
Oh boy. Oh, I don't know. I thought about like doing some like makeup stuff, like going to cosmetology school. I would still be working a part-time job, I would imagine. But probably, you know, going down like the basic school venture. I've thought about doing like physical therapy because I've been injured in this activity a lot and have some like personal stuff with that. So if I were to stop doing it, I would probably go to school for physical therapy.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. What is one thing you would like your students to take away from you being their coach?
Just to be able to like be yourself. Like I think maybe kids nowadays are a little bit more like reserved, or like, you know, how could we not, again, reverting back, we like shoved everybody to their homes for a very large portion of the time. So I think like we live in an anxious world. I think we always have, but now we talk about it. And I think like I always want everyone to be like authentic and to like accept their feelings, and you know, whether it's coming off the floor and being happy, or coming off the floor and freaking out, or freaking out with your stuff in your hands. Like I think just the takeaway is always like, how can I be myself, and how can I be like confident in myself? And you know, I didn't feel like I had a place in the world until like I've discovered the color guard thing, and it's what makes me feel comfortable with myself. So I think like watching them like grow up and feeling confident and feeling comfortable and stuff like that, to just like be able to be yourself, you know.
Yeah. All right, well, that's all I have for you today. So
thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Was that 10 whole minutes?